so welcome po sa ating another free webinar. So for tonight, we'll be discussing how to create audit finding for Xero. Okay, I'll start with discussing Xero para sa mga newbie po natin. Okay, so what is Xero? Xero is actually a cloud-based accounting. Okay, siguro galing po yung iba dito sa halos, majority galing sa corporate, and then probably meron silang mga ginagamit na different accounting software. Baka for some, manual pa rin yung recording, yung bookkeeping. Okay, so Xero is actually a cloud-based. Okay, cloud-based accounting software for small and medium-sized businesses. Okay, katulad po siya ng QuickBooks. It's another cloud-based accounting software. Okay, so it performs bookkeeping function like invoicing, payroll, and allows you to connect to a live bank feed. Okay, bank feeds. Okay, and Xero allows for both cash-based and accrual accounting system. So it's perfect for companies adhering for GAAP or IFRS. Okay, so Xero and not Xero. Okay, X po siya, yung Xero. Yun po yung accounting software, yung pangalan niya, Xero Accounting Software. Hindi po sa yung number na Z, which is 0. Okay? So, clear ko lang yan ha, kasi minsan nagkakamali sila sa spelling. Okay? Next, bilis ko lang, pasadaan ko lang itong mga plans bago tayo dun sa audit findings para lang dun sa mga newbie natin. So, pinapakita ko itong Xero plans kasi, yun nga, iba-iba po kasi yung mga plans and pricing for Xero. For this one, this is for, I think this is for, hindi ako nagkakamali, Australia. So, kung Hong Kong yan, kung US yan, or kung United Kingdom yan, syempre mag-iiba yung pricing. Pero gusto ko lang pakita sa inyo yung mga different pricing plan, which is starter, standard, and premium. Okay? Nag-iiba lang po sila ng pricing at medyo nag-iiba lang ng konti ng tawag. Pero most likely ganyan. And gusto ko lang po maging familiar kayo kasi, ayan, dyan po kasi nakapasok yung mga, let's say, sa quotes, sa invoices. Okay, depende dun sa kailangan ng client nyo. So, pwede nyo siyang i-browse. Punta lang po kayo xero.com. Okay? And then, punta lang po kayo Xero Pricing and Plans. Makikita nyo po yan. Okay? So, kung saan swap yung subscription para sa client nyo. Meron kasing iba nagtatanong, Shary, ganyan, ano kaya yung swap na plans for my business? O sige, kung may nagtanong po ng ganyan sa inyo, punta lang po kay xero.com, then go to Xero Pricing and Plans. And then, since nag-usap na kayo, discuss nyo na sa inyo yung problems, okay, na-identify nyo na kung ano yung mga kailangan niya, tignan nyo kung saan siya swap. Okay, anong plan? Is it starter? Is it standard? Is it premium? Okay? Good? Okay? Okay naman, no? So, Xero, pinag-usapan natin yung definition ng Xero. Ito, Xero Plans, para lang may idea kayo. Okay, next. So, discuss ko rin dito yung ating, ano ko lang itong screen. Okay, Xero roles and permissions. So, for this one, gusto ko lang din i-discuss kasi baka mamaya pinakita ko sa inyo yung Xero. Bakit po nung diniscuss ni Ms. Shary, may ganito, meron siyang access for projects, may payroll, pero nung binigyan po ako ng access, nakikita ko lang po yung dashboard. Okay, so bakit? Ang reason po dyan is depende po kasi sa roles and permissions na binigay ng client nyo. Okay, so may different roles and permissions. So ito po sa taas, here we have the advisor. Ito po yung pinakamataas na role, which is parang administrative. Okay, ito po usually ang advisor, which is the accountant. Yan po ang merong advisor role. And then we have the standard. We have IO, means invoice only plus draft. Tapos another IO, invoice only plus approve and pay. And then meron po tayo dito, invoice only plus sales, invoice only plus purchases, and read only. Okay? So yan po yung mga roles. Okay? And then as you can see here, makikita mo naman yung pagkakaiba po nila. Kung ano po yung access na meron kayo. Basically, for advisor, you have all the access. And then for standard, ang wala mo lang access is report, budgets, and manual journals. And then for invoice only plus draft, basically, ang halos ng access mo ay, yan, contacts, classic expense claim, files, multi-currency, purchases, and sales. So wala kang access sa settings, wala access sa reports, wala sa payroll, wala sa fixed assets, inventory, at wala rin sa bank accounts. Okay? So for approve and pay naman, yan, wala ka rin sa bank account. Ang nadagdag na wala dito, ayun. So meron siyang inventory. So, meron siyang inventory dito. Unlike nung sa draft, wala siya. Wala siyang access ng inventory. And then for the sales, ayan, wala siyang access ng purchases, na reports. Basically, sales ang access niya. Okay? Same sa invoice-only purchases. Ang meron siyang purchases at wala siya ng sales. Okay? And then read-only. Ang read-only, you have the access for bank accounts, transactions, and statements. Basically, halos katulad siya ng advisor. However, wala lang siya inventory, multi-currency, payroll, at saka settings. Ito, pwede nyo naman pong tingnan to sa Xero Central. Okay? Pwede nyo siyang makita sa guide. Alright? So, dito rin, explain ko lang din for this permission. So, meron pang different roles and permissions then. Basically, if you have the manage user permission, you can actually invite or update yung existing users. Pero kung wala ka nun, hindi ka pwedeng mag-invite or mag-update ng mga users. Okay, so once the registration is set up, the Xero subscriber can actually invite you to the organization. Okay, let's say ako, meron akong manage user permission. And sabi ni CEO or the client, okay, invite mo nga si Miss Marie to have a let's say, standard role permission. So, meron akong manage user role, then I can actually invite Miss Marie to have the standard role. Okay? And then, ano pa ba? When you invite a new user, you need to actually assign them a user role. Yun nga sinasabi ko kanina. And user role has different levels. Like yan, sabi ko kanina, advisor, standard, invoice only. And ano-ano ba yung mga pwede kong ibigay na roles or permission? Let's say ako, meron akong manage users, manage user access. Okay, I can give full access to all or most features. Okay, I can access to only enter customer invoices, supplier bills, or both. Okay, I have the ability to only view existing transactions, or probably full or restricted access to Xero expenses, projects, or payroll. Okay, so dito for project, let's say gusto mo, ang access niya lang is projects. So bigyan mo siya ng limited and standard role. Okay? And then let's say for expenses naman, okay, bigyan mo siya ng submitter, approver, and admin role. For payroll, you can give employee and payroll admin role. For business and accounting, you can actually give invoice only, standard, advisor, and read only. And then you can actually add extra permission. Ito yung mga payroll admin, yung cash coding. Ito cash coding kapag bulk entries. Okay? Pwede kang mag-reconcile, let's say, 500 items. Okay, so isang click lang. Ganyan. If it's, ang process is cash coding. Okay, and then bank account admin, reports, and manage users. So, yun yung mga extra permission na pwede nyo pa pong i-add dun sa mga existing rules and permission na binigay nyo na po dun sa user. Okay? So, yan. Para lang di po kayo nagtataka. Let's say, ay, bakit po? Nakita ko lang yung dashboard. Ay, bakit nakita ko lang po yung project? Ay, bakit payroll lang po yung view ko? So, kaya po ganun yun is because of the Xero roles and permissions na binigay sa inyo. Okay? So, next. So, discuss ko rin here yung Xero features para lang may idea kayo kung ano-ano yung mga yan. Okay? So, bakit nga ba Xero is a good choice? Bakit? Okay, halos po nang gumagamit ng Xero are Australians kasi ang Xero galing siya ng New Zealand. So New Zealand, syempre, ang kapitbahay niyan is yan, Australia. Okay? So, and halos, Asian ang gumagamit sa Xero. Meron na din dito sa Philippines, pero konti pa lang po ang gumagamit ng Xero. Xero PH, meron po tayong Xero PH. And then, meron na rin sa UK, okay? United Kingdom, gumagamit ng Xero. So, ayan. So, sa mga nag-iisip na i-offer ang Xero, okay, as one of their added skills, okay, sa kanilang bookkeeping services. Yan, pwede niyo pong targetin yung mga country yan, lalo na yung Australia. Australia po talaga, majority Xero po ang gamit nila. Okay? So, next, Xero features, yan, meron siyang business snapshots, meron siyang dashboard, meron siyang access from anywhere and anytime, yan po cloud-based siya. So, as long as there's an internet connection, you can access it online. Unlike yung mga ginagamit po natin sa corporate, di ba po? Nagagamit lang po natin sila sa mga offices kasi nakaset up po sila sa mga PC po natin. So, ang Xero po, ayan, cloud-based nga po. So, we can access it anytime and anywhere as long as may internet. Okay, parang magsasign in ka, parang Facebook. Parang ganun po siya. Okay? So, meron din siyang feature for invoices or invoicing. Dun sa invoices, you can actually set up repeating invoices, bulk send invoice, invoice on your mobile. So, magagamit mo siya kahit yung mobile phone mo lang. Immediate payment, meron siyang link doon wherein when you click that link, there is easiest way to pay the invoice. Okay, pwede siya sa Stripe, pwede siya sa Go Cardless, yung mga ganyan. And PayPal, yan, pwede rin siya. And on-charge billable expense. Okay, you can actually replicate the last invoice. And pwede rin po siya for multi-currency. Pwede siyang mag-produce ng account statements, credit notes, what else? Bills to pay. Ayan. So, dun sa bills to pay, you can actually record bills online in a single location. See what bills are due for the payment. You can monitor that. Ano pa? Repeat and replicate bills. Get your money back on available expenses. Okay? Pay with TransferWise. Okay? Sa mga gumagamit ng TransferWise dyan. So, actually, Wise na lang siya ngayon. Dati TransferWise, ngayon Wise na yung pangalan. Sa mga nagtatanong ano nga ba yun? Yun po kasi yung ginagamit natin. Majority ng mga freelancers. Kasi mas cheaper po yung fees niya compare sa PayPal. Kapag gusto po kayong bayaran ni client, okay, parang gagawa siya ng account niya sa Wise at ikaw din gagawa ka ng account mo sa Wise. And then parang ito po yung payment gateway. Okay, mas cheaper po kayong fees. At ang kagandahan niyan is papasok na po siya directly doon sa bank mo. Okay, hindi na siya parang nakalagay lang like sa PayPal, parang pondo lang siyang nandun na kailangan pang i-transfer sa bank. Ito po, diretso na po siya sa bangko. So, yung Wise na yun. Alright? And then for HubDoc integration, ito, HubDoc is actually bill management application. Dito po nilalagay lahat ng mga receipts, okay, mga bank statements, mga bills, ayan, yung mga, para siyang storage, cloud storage, wherein pwede picturean ni client, picturean yung receipt, tapos sa-upload niya doon, then ikaw, ipaprocess mo yon papunta sa Xero. Okay, para kapag lumabas siya sa bank feeds, let's say merong expense for taxi, okay, or Grab, tapos pinrocess mo yung receipt na Grab na yon, so magsisync siya sa Xero. Tapos kapag dumating yung bank feeds, ima-match mo siya. Okay, so ganyan po, HubDoc integration. So meron din po tayong automated daily bank feeds. Meron tayong tracking. Okay, we have tax returns. Pwede rin siyang tax return, BAS, sales tax, and VAT. Payroll and pensions. Pwede siya. Projects. Let's say you're tracking yung project cost na isang project. Quotations, invoices. Pwede yan. And it has interactive credit control. Okay, so yun yung mga features ni Xero. So if you want to read it more, pwede naman po kayo pumunta sa xero.com para makita niyo po yung Xero features. Okay, para mas basahin niyo po sila isa-isa. In the Bookkeeper Secret Academy, we don't make any promises, we deliver results. Coaches are just 5 to 10% of the work, which means 90 to 95% of the person's progress is just them. We bank on people's potential. Some of our student testimonials said the return of investment of the course is more than what they paid for. It's the huge mindset win, which is everything for them. One student in the masterclass, which is a total newbie in the online bookkeeping business, applied the tips, the strategy that we've shared in the class, got his first ever client online in just early as 3 weeks. And some of our students got their online accounting certification in Xero and QuickBooks Online, browsing the tips and tricks that we've shared with them. And one student as well win back her previous client by just applying the script that we've shared in the masterclass and was able to double his current rate and got a $1,000 signing bonus. It's better for you to just check it out, our student testimonials, and see it for yourself. Okay. And next, Xero Demo Company. So actually, you can learn Xero on your own. Okay. Gawin nyo lang po is go to xero.com and then sign up dun sa free trial. Okay. Sign up po kayo dun sa free trial. Sign kayo sa free trial. So meron po kayong 30 days. Okay. Doon sa 30 days na yon, meron po kayong demo company. So sa demo company, it will help you, sa demo company, lets you try out Xero features without setting up your own organization or entering your own data. Okay? Parang katulad ng QuickBooks, meron siyang sample company na pwede mong paglaruan, pwede mong matest. Okay, merong mga bank transaction doon na pwede mong reconcile na may pagkita ko po sa inyo yung sample. And then, meron siyang mga bills, okay, mga invoices na ipaprocess. And then, merong yan, kunwari, it's a demo company with company settings. Meron siyang mga taxes na nakaset up, ganyan. And mga chart of accounts. Okay? So, ayan, if you want to explore Xero and want to learn more about Xero, pwede nyo pong gamitin sa Xero Demo Company. Gusto mong laruin mo muna siya bago ka mag-take na Xero certification, pwede naman. Okay? So, for Xero Demo Company, okay, next tayo yung title niya kasi. So, Xero certification. So, for the Xero certification, we have online courses, we have webinar or classroom, and we have fast track assessment. So, dun sa online courses, punta lang po kayo sa Xero, Xero Central, o kaya type nyo lang po Xero, ano sa pangalan ng Xero Get Certified. Okay, pakita ko sa inyo yung link. I-paste ko dito. Pero pwede nyo puntahan. Ayan. So, again, libre lang po ang pag-take ng Xero. Okay? Kung ayaw nyo ng fast track, kasi ang fast track po, it's 25 questions and you can only take it ng isang beses. Okay? Kailangan po 80% ang passing rate. So, at least 20 out of 25 po yung correct answer. And one take lang po. So, kung nag-fail po kayo, I think after 90 days pa ulit, bago po kayo makapag-retake. Okay? Pero kung gusto nyo po ng muna para safe kayo dun sa certification, pwede po kayong gamitin yung online courses. So sa online courses, may learning tab doon. Pa-follow nyo lang, papanoorin nyo lang, and then para may mga assessments lang kayo na sasagutin after the online courses. And after that, okay, may instruction doon how to get your Xero certification. Ganun din po sa webinar and classroom. Okay, may mga webinars lang kayong attendan, and then after every webinars, may mga assessment lang sasagutin. Then after that, okay, makukuha nyo na po yung Xero certification. Okay? So, ayan. So, sa mga walang oras dun sa online courses and webinar at confident ka na to take the exam for Xero, just go for the fast track assessment. Okay? Alright. So, Ayun, so nag-introduction lang tayo ng konti sa Xero. So start na tayo sa pinaka-topic natin for tonight, which is Xero Cleanup Guide. So meron akong formula na ipapakita sa inyo para mas madali kayong mag-come up sa isang audit finding, okay, na magiging basis nyo sa pag-bill, okay, kay client. Okay, so kung gaano karami yung work, gaano karami yung time na tingin mo spend mo dun sa books na ito. So this is it. So let's start. So Xero Cleanup Guide using SABPP. Okay? So ano nga ba yung formula yan? Okay, number 1 is the accounts. Okay? Accounts. Mamaya na po yung sample company, explain muna natin. So, number 1, accounts. How many accounts? Okay? You have to identify gaano ba karaming accounts yung i-reconcile mo. Actually, the process is just the same with QuickBooks. So, let's say meron siyang 2 bank accounts, may 2 credit cards, tapos may isang PayPal. Okay? And then, identify din kung gaano karami yung mga unreconciled transactions. Let's say, for the 2 bank accounts, meron siyang 100. Okay, and then meron pa siyang 2 credit card, ang total niya is 200. And then sa PayPal, meron siyang 50. Okay, so i-total mo lahat yun. Total mo yung unreconciled transactions. Okay, and then medyo nag-estimate ka na gano'ng karami, gano'ng katagal ka mag-spend in reconciling those transactions. So that's part of your audit findings. So let's say for the Amex, meron kang 50 transactions. For PayPal, meron kang 50 again. And then for the 2 bank accounts, meron kang 160. So, lagay mo dun sa assessment mo. Okay? And then, also check if updated ba yung monthly reconciliation summary. Okay? Kasi sa Xero po kasi, hindi siya katulad ng QuickBooks na parang merong, what they call this? Merong parang i-enter mo yung balance. Tapos magre-reconcile siya, yung iti-tick mo siyang gano'n. Hindi po. Dito sa Xero, basically parang nagre-review ka lang ng running balance. Okay? Nire-review mo lang po talaga kung magmamatch yung running balance mo sa Xero versus the bank statements. Okay? And then, yun nga, you have to check if the bank balance versus Xero QBO balance is correct. Magmamatch pa. May discrepancy ba? Okay? Or baka may mga transaction na binayad sa bank na to na hindi naman pala dapat. So, may mga floating transaction. So, you have to isulat din yan sa audit findings mo. Let's say may mga 3 items na floating. Okay, you need to further check this dun sa bank statement. So, you have to put it there. And then, when was bank feed last updated or sync in Xero or PBO? Minsan po kasi, nagkakaroon po ng error doon sa pagsisync ng bank feeds. Let's say, June 16 na ngayon, pero ang last sync ng bank feeds is nung May 30 pa. So, syempre, kailangan mo i-ask kay client, can you please check, okay, if the bank feeds has been updated or synced? Okay, kung sinabi niya hindi, okay, I'll refresh the connection. So, yun. Refresh niyo naman. So, basically, may tendency na madadagdagan yung mga unreconciled items. Okay? So, next, are there accounts needing manual import every month? Ayan. Pero kasi nagtatanong minsan, lahat po ba ng mga accounts pwede po i-sync yung bank feeds? Hindi po lahat. Hindi po lahat po kasi tawag dito, available for syncing ang bank feeds. Hindi po. Hindi po lahat. So, ang mangyayari po is manual importing ng banking transactions. So, manghihingi ka ng CSV file, and then meron pong template sa Xero wherein you import those banking transactions para lalabas siya dun sa bank feeds na for reconciliation. Okay, nandun sa reconcile tab na i-reconcile mo. Okay, so yan, yung mga yan, iti-take note mo yan. Okay, you have to identify if this bank account needs manual importing or nagsisync naman siya. Okay, so yung mga ganyan. So you have to take note yung mga ganyang scenario sa account. So that's number 1. Number 2, yung next formula is S, which is sales. Okay, you have to check all the open invoices, overdue, deposit payment applied correctly. So ito, may mga invoices na let's say 300 days overdue na. So you have to identify bakit may ganon, bakit naka-open pa yung invoices na yon. So you have to take note gano'ng karami yung mga invoices na ganong katagal na. Okay? And then, check mo rin yung mga deposit. Okay? Deposit payment. Paano ba? Kung meron bang invoices, nag-create ba sila ng invoices and then minamatch nila yung payment? Or directly deposit lang tapos nire-record lang nila directly sa sales? Okay? So, you have to check that. Kung paano sila nag-a-apply ng mga deposits nila. Right? Kasi minsan po, mismatching. Okay, yan po yung usually yung problem sa clean-up. Mismatching. Let's say, ang invoices is for May, tapos minatch na for January. So, yung mga ganyan. So, we have to take note yung mga ganyang invoices. And then, yun nga, are there undeposited funds? So, usually po, yung iba kasi usually nagamit yan sa QuickBooks, yung mga undeposited funds. Though, meron din sa Xero, yung mga checking account nila. Yung hinintay nila mag-clear, kaya ang ginagawa nila, pinatapon muna nila sa undeposited funds. So you have to check, paano ba nila nililinis to? Paano nila minamatch to? Okay, so check, i-take note mo kung may mga kailangan ilinisin for undeposited funds. So prepayment or unapplied payment, so i-check nyo rin po. Kung merong mga prepayment na floating, okay, ang tagal-tagal na, long overdue, dyan, or mga unapplied payment, okay, may mga credit notes, okay, pakicheck, baka i-take note mo rin yan kung may mga gano'n na kailangan mong i-clarify kay client, okay, and then next, check invoices showing as paid but not matching to any bank account. Ito, let's say, meron siyang binayaran na January invoices, binayaran niya, let's say, dun sa isang bank account, business bank account, which is, let's say, it's for, ibang sample ng bank account. Let's say, Lloyd's bank account. Okay, Lloyd's bank account. Pero nung tinignan mo sa bank statement, wala naman yung ganong invoice. Hindi naman pala dun binayad. So, basically, magpo-float yan doon sa business bank account, which is the Lloyd's bank account. So, you have to take note then. So, i-clarify mo yung client. Hi, client. That's part of the query. Okay, so, note mo muna pala. Hindi muna tayo magre-report kay client. Okay, next, you have to run the aging summary. Okay, tingnan mo kung gaano nakatagal na sitting yung mga invoices there. Baka meron ng more than 90 days, more than 120 days. You have to clarify kay client. Baka binayaran pala yan through cash. So, kailangan mo na siyang i-clear, i-close yung mga invoices na yan. So, that's part of the cleanup. Okay? Next, so number 1 is accounts. Yung A natin, accounts. And then yung S natin, sales. Next naman is B, which is bills and expenses. So, ganun din, katulad ng sales, you have to check all the open bills and overdue bills. Okay, yung mga matatagal na open bills. Okay, check lang po natin bakit nandyan pa rin. Or baka may mga expense claim dyan na floating. So, you have to ilagay nyo rin po yan sa audit findings nyo kung may nahanap kayo. And then, check bill showing as paid but not matching to any bank account. Katulad po nung sa sales kanina. Baka binayaran pala yung Facebook ads sa isang business bank account wherein hindi naman pala dun siya binayaran. Binayaran pala siya sa other bank accounts. So basically, you have to redo the payment and then pay it to the correct bank account. Let's say the bank account is not set up in Xero, basically, papasok natin siya as drawings. Okay, kasi binayad siya other accounts. Okay, next naman, are there prepayment or unapplied payment? Katulad din. So, you have to check kung merong mga, may mga credit notes din. Okay, mga returns. okay, na kailangan mong i-apply, purchase returns, yung mga ganyan. Okay, so you have to check kung meron, and add nyo po siya dun sa audit findings nyo. Okay, and then also run the APA dun summary. Okay, kung gaano nakatagal na hindi bayad or long overdue po itong mga bills na ito. Okay, so next, payroll. Okay, payroll employees. Ito po, for payroll employees, dapat po tatanungin nyo rin yan sa client nyo kung nag-handle sila ng payroll. Okay, usually po kasi, for payroll, meron silang mga third party who handles this, ng payroll ng company. Okay? Pero kung sakali po, meron man, tapos minimal lang naman. So, you can actually ask how many employees. Okay? And then, check mo kung lahat ba ng employees na yun nakaset up ng properly yung mga details nila in Xero. And then, check usually yung wages payable account, yung check natin. So, wages payable account, and for Australia, meron silang superannuation payable na ginagamit nila for the benefits. Okay, parang katulad sa atin, SSS, pag-ibig, yung mga yan. Okay, check mo yan kung na-clear ba yung mga payables na yan. So, kung hindi, okay, part ng audit findings mo, okay, query mo yan, part ng i-clean up mo, bakit hindi na-clear itong mga payables na to, paano ba nila binabayaran itong mga wages na to. Okay, and then, yun, how they pay it. Okay, binabayad ba siya using the business bank account or baka gumagamit sila ng isang account na hindi nakaset up sa Xero. Okay? So, next. Okay, syempre yung balance sheet. Okay, balance sheet, importante po, kasama po yan sa nire-review po natin. Okay, so, niwalay lang natin balance sheet and profit and loss, pero try balance, pwede rin yung try balance na agad. Pero sa balance sheet, of course, assets, so all accounts, which is all the bank accounts, all the credit card accounts, the PayPal, ayan, yung mga accounts for the business. You have to make sure that all accounts is for the business. Kung may account po na personal, okay, i-clarify kay client, bakit po nakaset up doon, and encourage the client to stop using that. Stop yung pagsisync nun sa Xero, or kung pwedeng tanggalin na siya, or gawin siyang inactive, okay, do so. Okay? And then, kung halimbawa, dun sa personal account niya naman, may mga minimal business expense, gawin na lang po natin siya. Mag-raise na lang po tayo ng journal entries. Okay? If the account is not really for the business, better na tanggalin po siya. Okay? Doon sa Xero. Okay? And next, of course, the liabilities. You have to check all the loans account. Okay? The mortgages, you have to check if it's properly recorded and applied. Okay, let's say if may monthly payment sila, you have to monitor. Baka biglang may payment ng January, tapos naputol ng February, tapos nag-skip na naman. So yung mga ganon, you have to check, okay, if yung payment niya ba monthly or quarterly. So, ayun. So, that's part din ng audit findings mo na pwede mong i-clarify kay client. Okay, and if you need further loan documents to further check the loans and mortgages, pwede naman tayong mag-request. And then for equity, ayan, so yung mga owner's drawing accounts, we have to make sure that all the things na nandun sa owner's drawing account ay for personal expenses lang talaga. Okay, for some kasi yung ginagawa po nila, nag-create po sila ng director's loan account. So for director's loan account, parang utang, okay, utang ng business kay client na ibabalik. Okay, so depende po dun sa preference ni client. Okay, and next po, you have to check all the uncategorized income, expense, and ask my accountant account. Okay, meron po kasi iba, hindi po nila alam paano i-code yung mga transaction, pinakode po nila lahat sa uncategorized expense, uncategorized income, or ask my accountant. So that's part of our cleanup. Tingnan po natin yung mga ito. And then you have to check all the abnormal balances. Okay, let's say bakit yung bank account biglang naging negative balances. Wherein, sabi naman ni client, may pondo yun. Okay, so you have to check. Bakit kaya? So, parang kailangan na further review to. Parang hindi siya normal balance. Okay? So, mga ganun po. Let's say, yung ibang mga accounts, may mga loans. At parang kakaiba to. Parang merong hindi na-raise na journal entries. So, yung mga ganyan po. Okay, you have to put it dun sa inyong audit findings then. Okay? So, next is the profit and loss. I think this is the last part. Then, dun tayo sa sample company. Okay, so for profit and loss, income, of course, you have to check all the income account if it's properly coded. Okay? Let's say, lalo na kung maraming source of income yung company. So, you have to check lahat ng income na yon. So, kung tama ba yung pagpasok or pag-record ng mga income accounts na yon. So, next, expenses. You have to check also all the expenses account if it's properly recorded. Okay, yung mga fees, okay, mga rent, mga expenses na yan. You have to make sure na hindi sila nag-mix up, walang nasa meals, yung meals napunta dun sa transportation. So, yung mga ganun transaction, you have to review it. Okay? So, okay, stop ko muna to. Pakikita ko na yung isang ito na tayo sa Xero. Okay, kita naman ba? Kita po? Kita naman. Okay, thank you. Alright, so this is a sample Xero company. So this is a UK client. As you can see, ganito po ang itsura ng ating Xero dashboard. Okay, Xero dashboard, we have the dashboard, we have the business, we have the accounting, and the contacts. Okay, pakita ko lang din sa inyo how you can change organization. Let's say you have multiple clients, okay? Change organization, you can switch to one organization to another, and dito nyo rin po makikita yung demo company. Pakita ko lang po ang demo company. Yan po ang demo company. Ito po yung sinasabi ko na pwede nyo pong laruin. Pwede nyo pong familiarize yung sarili nyo using this demo company. So as you can see, meron na po siya mga items to reconcile. So parang dummy bank account and banking transaction that you can reconcile. Okay, so yan. Yan, dummy bank account. Tapos mga banking transactions na pwede niyo pong paglaruan. Okay, so pag nagmamatch na ganyan, basically merong invoice na na-create. Ayan. Ayan. Tapos kapag ganito po, may mga bank rules na na-create. Okay, kapag wala naman po siyang match, ibig sabihin walang mga transactions na matching for this expenses, na pwede nyo naman pong i-create diretso na dito sa create tab. So we have the match tab. Ayan, yung match tab yan, kung halimbawa may mga match na hanap sa Xero. And then we have the create tab wherein let's say wala naman pong match. You can directly record it here. And then we have the transfer tab. Transfer tab, it's transferring from one account to another. Okay, and then we have the discuss tab. So in discuss tab, this is where you can put notes. Let's say, details, please. Okay, let's say, is this for transfer? Is this for transportation? Ganyan. Na pwede nyo i-save. Okay, let's say, pag bumalik si client, ni-note si Shary. Okay, sige, pwede kong lagyan ng note dyan. Yes, sabi ko, ganyan. Pwede nyo i-replyan yan. Pwedeng ganyan, at meron ding other way, wherein you can actually create your coding query list, isang transaction sa isang Google Sheet, wherein nandun lahat ng mga queries mo. Okay? So, ayan. And then we have here the find and match. Let's say meron kang hanapin. Alam ko to, para kay invoice ganito yan. Dito meron details. It's for invoice 001. So, hanapin mo yung invoice 001. Okay, kung may lalabas, edi match mo siya doon. Okay, so that's find and match. And then, balik tayo sa dashboard. Pinakita ko lang po yung demo company. So, para pwede nyo pong paglaruan, pwede nyo gamitin. So, dito, sa demo company, meron din siyang mga sample invoices na nasa draft, nasa awaiting approval, nasa awaiting payment, sa paid at saka repeating. So, pwede nyo siyang i-check, paano niya ginawa, paano ka mag-create ng invoice, paano mo siya i-save as draft. Okay, ganun din po sa bill side. Para ma-familiarize mo yung sarili mo. Say, pinaghahandaan mo na i-offer to sa future client mo. Okay, para kapag mayroon ka ng client, medyo hasa ka na. Okay, sa Xero, hindi ka na kailangan masyadong i-train. Ayan, so as you can see, pwede mo namang i-open yan. Pwede mo siyang may mga option dito, i-void, i-copy, edit, you can add credit note. So, huwag kayong mag-alala, huwag kayong matakot na paglaruan to, ma-delete or whatsoever, okay lang yan. Okay, actually, pwede mo nga i-reset yung demo company. Okay? Pwede mong i-reset yan. Pero halimbawa, nag-set up ka ng Xero for your client, okay? Willing naman mag-bayad si client, syempre. Bago ma-expire ng 30 days, pwede naman po siyang bayaran. Actually, set up mo na yung credit card mo na and then ma-charge lang siya after 30 days bago ma-expire yung free trial. Okay? So, ganun po siya. So, lahat po ng sinet up nyo nun, okay, dito sa Xero para dun sa client, as long as nagbayad si client, hindi po mawawala yun. Okay? Pero ang downside lang sa demo company, may mga features siya na hindi available. Let's say, for this one, yung search tab, siya available for the demo company. Yan. So, medyo restricted ng konti yung pwede mong gawin. Pero, most ng mga major steps, okay, available naman, like, let's say, for reconciliation, invoicing, billing, available naman. Even the settings nga pwede siya, Yan, So, this is the organization details wherein you can put all the details of the company. Ayan. And then, pwede kang pumunta sa advanced settings. Let's say you want to create a conversion balance. Let's say, galing ka ng QuickBooks, ililipat mo siya ng Xero. Okay, syempre, magsaset ka ng opening balances mo. Ayan, dito mo siya gagawin. And then, you can also lock the dates para hindi siya magalaw. And then, you can set up tax rate. Okay, even chart of accounts, you can set up. Financial settings, pwede rin. Okay, ito yung isa sa magandang feature ni Xero, which is find and recode. Let's say meron siyang, may incorrectly coded transaction siya na 500 items. Okay, di bang hirap isa-isahin i-correct yun? So sa find and recode, hanapin mo lang yung specific transactions na yun, and you can easily recode it in just few minutes. Okay, let's say, na-code siya for meals, pero dapat pala transportation siya. Okay, o kaya yung tax rate niya, dapat pala GST free pero GST on non-capital mo siya nalagay. Okay, pwede mo siyang i-recode. Lalo na kung marami yan. Pwede mo siyang i-bulk recode. Okay, so mas mabilis. It will save you a lot of time. So for projects, ito yung mga projects wherein, let's say, you have different projects, yung mga clients mo, gumagamit siya ng project, meron siya mga tinatrack na project, the cost, the quotation, the invoicing per project. So, dyan po yan. And then the contacts, ito, lahat ng customers, suppliers, and employees. And then you can actually group them. Okay, let's say this is all for South customer, this is for North customer. Pwede kayong magkaroon ng groupings. And what else? So, sa accounting, dito usually yung mga bank accounts. Ayan. Bank accounts, you can add, transfer, bank rules, and this is the uncoded statement lines. Ito po ginagamit natin to kapag nakikreate tayo ng mga query list. Okay, mga unreconciled items na i-query natin kay client. dito natin mas madaling mararun. Okay, pwede na siyang ma-download. Yes natin. Makita niyo. Ayan, so lahat ng comments na nilagay dito, let's say yung kanina nilagay ko yan, di ba? So, pwede mo siyang export to CSV. Ayan. Mas mabilis. Hindi mo na siya kailangan isa-isahin kinaka-copy-paste, di ba? Okay, next naman, balik na tayo sa ating audit finding template. So, balik tayo doon sa other level. Sa sample. Pinakita ko lang for the newbie para lang makasabay kayo. So for this one, let's say this is my Xero audit finding template. So basically, I put the business name, the date start ng clean up and catch up. Let's say 1st of January 2022. And then, ano yung issues? Ang issues niya is clean up and catch up. So, naging messy na yung books niya ng January, hindi na maayos, hindi na siya nalinis talaga, hindi na monitor na maayos. Mali-mali na, mismatching. Okay? And then, start with the accounts. Yung binigay ko kayo ng formula sa inyo to make it easier to do your audit findings. Accounts, the sales, the bills, the payroll, the balance sheet, the profit and loss. So, this is a guide, at least kahit paano you can start doing the audit findings. So, if you want to add more na nakapailalim dyan, okay lang, go ahead. Okay, so accounts, let's say for this one, meron siyang dalawang accounts. Okay, one. Actually, tatlo. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so meron siyang tatlong accounts. 3 bank accounts. And then, ilan ba yung mga unreconciled items niya? Let's say 87 plus 18. So, 105. So, there's 105 unreconciled items. And then, yung isang account, pwede ko siyang inote dito. 2 bank accounts. Dated entries. And then, sabihin ko yung isang bank account. Last transaction niya ay January 4. So, I need to ask the client after January 4 ba, wala nang transaction for this bank account. Ganun. So, I can put that sa audit finding. Pwede ko bigyan ng ganun. May nakikita ba? Okay. So, ayan. 2 bank accounts updated bank feeds, and then 1 bank account no transaction after 4th of January 2022. So, ayan, inote ko siya. Okay, is zero and bank balance matching, yes or no? Pwede kong i-check. Since wala pa akong bank statement, basically, ang sasabihin ko dyan, no. So, I need to request for bank statements. Okay, so no. And then, when was the bank feed last updated? Let's say for the 2 bank account. Okay, syncing naman siya. 1 bank account updated ng kita niyo po yun sa bank statement. Dito, banking transaction niya. Dito sa bank statement tab, kung kailan yung last transaction. So, which is June 16. Pwede ko ilagay dito. 1 bank account, last sync, or last trans. 16, 16, 22. So I can switch one bank account to another dito. O, pwede po yan, shortcut. 6. And then next, add current account. Ayun, so this one, January 4 pa. Okay, so this is somehow your parang findings mo sa sarili mo. And then kapag nag-present ka sa client, pwede mo naman ayusin yan. Okay? And then next, do you need to do manual import or refresh your bank feeds? So meron isang bank account for query. So, one bank account to query with no transactions. To import. Ay, yung kanina, which is yung last account. Kasi last transaction niya is January 4. And then, ano pang napansin natin sa bank account niya? Balikan natin. Ito nyo pang balikan. Check mo kung may mga unreconciled dito na status. Ibig sabihin, check ko lang. So far, wala naman. Kapag meron, ibig sabihin floating siya noon dito sa bank account nito. Ibig sabihin, walang bank feeds na nag-match doon. So probably, most likely, hindi yun para doon. Okay, incorrectly paid for that bank account. Ayan pa natin yung isa. Yan, so far, wala namang mga unreconciled na status. Kita mo naman yun eh. Orange siya. So, wala naman. So, okay na tayo dyan for the accounts. And then, punta tayo sa sales side. Invoices. Are there open invoices, overdue, and deposited funds? Mukhang wala. Malinis. So, ibig sabihin, they're not creating any invoices. Pwede mong lagay dito, not creating invoices. So, most likely, cash coding po sila. And then, may mga prepayment. Wala naman. Malinis. So, no. Invoices showing as paid but not matching thing. Wala naman. So, click mo, no. And then, punta tayo sa bill side. Bills to pay. For the bills to pay, wala rin. Malinis. So, pwede nyo i-copy yan. Pero kung hindi naman, okay. Yan, pakita ko lang din yung isang medyo messy na accounts receivable side para may idea kayo ng itsura. Yan. So, as you can see here, meron siyang 197, okay, na invoices. Pero as you can see, if I'm gonna filter this over July, okay, meron siyang mga invoices na parang ano yun, no? More than 1 year na, okay, na overdue invoices. So, this one, yung mga yan, these are the transaction for query. Okay. Ayan. So, lahat ng yan, ano mo, tawag dito, i-query mo. Okay, pwede mo siyang i-note here. Bawa dito. Example. Best overdue invoice 447 days. Okay. For query. And then, bilangin mo kung ilan yung mga overdue. Okay, pwede ka rin mag-run ng AR aging summary sa reports. Yan, agent receivable summary. Yan, dyan mo makikita, pwede mo i-adjust yung aging period, pwedeng 4, period of 1 month, or days or weeks. Okay, pwede mo siyang i-adjust yung period number niya at saka date range. Say 10 periods natin siya. Mas marami lang ako. So, ayan, dyan mo mas makikita. Okay, mga open invoices na sobrang tagal na. Okay, let's say this one. 9 months older. Yan, so this one. So, yun yung mga i-review mo. Bakit open pa rin sila? So, that's part of your review. You have to ask the client if it's paid or not. So, kung sinabi niya paid na, so ask mo saan siya na paid para ma-clear mo na to. Malinis mo na sila. Pwede mo siyang i-export, Excel, or Google Sheet. And then sa Excel, pwede kang maglagay ng another column doon. And then mag-notes ka. Okay? Na isama mo siya dun sa query list mo kay client. Okay? So, next. Nakita ko lang messy, yung messing part na sales. So, review mo din kung may mga unapplied. As you can see here, may mga credit note na unapplied pa. So, part din yan ng for review. Okay? Review mo doon. Pwede mo i-note dito. Merong 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 unapplied credit note. Okay? Ayan. Ayan po siya. So, tingnan naman natin yung best side dito kung may laman para may idea kayo ng itsura. Ayan, may laman din. So, punta naman tayo dun sa agent payable summary. So, may mga awaiting payment din siya. Meron sa 2020 pa. So, pwede mo i-query yan. Bakit meron pang isang transaction na older, 2020 pa, bakit hindi pa siya nabayad? So, pwede mo i-query yun. Pwede mo ilagay dito. This bill ng 2020 for Q. Okay? So, wala naman siya mga ayun, parang ano siya, as you can see, parang partially paid. Ayan. So, as you can see, may mga payments na in-apply, pero meron pa rin balance. So, you have to check bakit di pa nabayad yung remaining balance na. Kasi ang last payment, Feb 2021 pa eh. So, sobrang tagal na ng last payment. Okay? Ayan. So, next naman sa list natin, yung payrolls and employees. Parang wala naman. Ang payroll ba ito? So, tingnan natin kung meron. So, yan. As you can see, meron siyang dalawang employee. Okay. So, parang recently naman ito. So, you have to check kung ginagamit niya na ba ito talagang payroll na ito ever since or recently lang. So, you have to check the chart of accounts. And then, check natin yung wages payable. So, mukhang recently lang yung ginamit ko. So, wala. Hindi pa talaga nakaprocess. Okay, so yun yung mga chine-check nyo, yung wages payable account. Okay, let's say naman siya, yes. Okay, let's say, bago lang, will set up. Pero kung meron mga queries, let's say wages payable, not moving since 2021. Pero before, may in and out naman na transaction. Bakit bigla pagdating ng 2021, let's say mid of 2021, biglang nawala yung in and out. So, check nyo po yan. Okay, next naman sa balance sheet. So, napalit lang ako ng entity kasi mas may laman to. So, balance sheet. Okay, let's say, end of last financial year, January 2021. So, let's say it's for March 31. And so, iba-iba po yung end of financial year per country, ha? So, this one is for UK. So, review po yung balance sheet. So, basically, all the assets, the liabilities, and the equity account. So, check nyo po yung mga transactions na yan. You can open link. Okay, to check yung mga medyo parang kaduda-duda mga transactions. Okay. Yan, check yan isa-isa. And then make sure, of course, the bank accounts are reconciling yung balance natin sa bank statements. Ayan, check nyo lang. So, management ng account. Ayan. Check nyo po yung mga kadududa, normal balances. Ayan yun. Check nyo po. Negative component deposits, mga loans. Okay, so yan. Check po sila. Okay, if merong mga chart of accounts na improperly coded, pwede rin po natin silang erase. Okay. Bawa, improperly set up pala, improperly set up, let's say, yung assets, biglang nandun sa, alam mo, asset tong transaction na to, pero nandun siya sa liability. So, pwede mong i-ask yung mga yun, bakit nandun sila. Sinabi ni client, ay, hindi ko kasi alam yung ginagawa ko. So, alam mo rin gagawin mo. So, if you need to correct it, correct it. Okay, so, ayun. Next naman, you can run also the profit and loss. Yan, check nyo po yung mga income accounts. Yan, check nyo po na lahat ng ito para dyan talagang income account na yan. Ayan. Kung napansin kayo na hindi dapat na nandiyan, so check, double check. Okay. And then decode lang kung kailangan. And then cost of sales, ayan, check mo lahat ng transactions dyan. All the administrative cost, check nyo po. Bakit pala may mga miscoded na transactions. So, ayan. So, audit findings po talaga medyo matrabaho. So, you have to check each accounts talaga. At dito nyo rin po mabibase kung paano nyo i-bill ng client nyo. Kasi natatansya nyo na kung gaano katagal yung trabaho, gugugulin mo for this account. So, napakaganda po ng audit findings. And if you think na kaya mo naman yung trabaho, dito mo rin siya ma-assess. So, if tingin mo hindi mo siya kaya, okay, better yun nga. Refer it to someone else or just say it to your client na this is out of my control or out of what I'm usually doing, ganyan. So, yun yung importance ng audit finding. Okay, so note nyo lang po lahat ng mga transactions, lahat ng mga audit findings nyo dun sa balance sheet and profit and loss account. Ayan. So basically, ganun lang naman siya. So after nyo dyan, pwede na kayong mag-create ng proposal. Okay, start with the introduction. Okay, and then after that, lagay mo yung mga audit findings mo. And then after the audit findings, ilagay mo po yung investment. Okay, and then yung closing part. Okay? So, isend niyo siya via email or whatever kung saan man kayo nag-uusap ng prospect mo. Okay, then send mo. And then, of course, follow up after a few days. Kung nabasa niya na and ano sa tingin niya. Okay? Okay, so ayan. So ayun nga, sabi ni Jim Rohn, don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. Okay? Don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. Okay? So, medyo matrabaho po talaga ang pag-audit. Pero, ito pong part na to yung dito kayo talaga makakuha ng mga premium clients. Okay? Lalo na kung direct clients. So, ayan po.